Hello students, a very good morning. So students, in last class we have discussed about the angle of contact, and in the case of angle of contact you have seen that it is the angle between solid liquid interface and solid liquid air interface. So between that two, whatever the angle that is contained, that is known as angle of contact. So up to a condition that we have discussed in the previous class, and the condition was there, that is for the case of if for the three interfaces like solid liquid, solid air and liquid air interface, three types of interface we have, and for these three interfaces we have three types of surface tensions. So the relationship between that surface tension, that is related also the angle of contact, and we have kept the maximum value of angle of contact, and for which we have derived a condition, and that condition the derived, that was equal to SSA. This was less than SLA plus SLS. Means the surface tension along solid liquid solid air interface, that is less than the sum of the surface tensions along liquid air interface and liquid solid interface. Now this is the condition for the equilibrium of liquid drop placed on the solid surface. So if whenever you a liquid drop that you will place on solid surface, that will be in the condition of equilibrium, it will follow this condition. If it is not following this condition, then that time it will not be in equilibrium condition. So here we can have the certain cases. The case first, let's see. Case first is now what? Here in this case, when this condition is satisfying for the interface, means SSA, this is less than SLA plus SLS. This condition is satisfying. So the equilibrium condition of the liquid drop placed on the solid surface is possible in this case, and in this case if SL here SSL, that will be greater than SLA. Here SL S, that will be greater than SLA. So in both of these, if you will see, first condition, that is necessary for equilibrium. Second one, if this SLS that is greater than this SLA, means solid liquid interface that is greater than solid air interface. In this case, the angle of contact becomes obtuse angle, and we are getting theta that is greater than 90. Means if liquid will impact for the greater surface tension with solid liquid air interface in comparison to the solid air interface, then that time obtuse angle is formed. Like we have seen the case whenever a liquid that is dropped, that is kept on this one. So three types of interfaces we had, and for these three interfaces we have seen the three types of surface tension. So these are the directions of surface tensions now, and for these directions of surface tension, first is this is solid air interface, this is now liquid air interface, and this is solid liquid interface. So three interfaces we have, and angle between solid air and liquid air interface and liquid solid interface, that is known as angle of contact. So in this case, this condition is satisfying. This surface tension is greater than this surface tension, so that it will not lose its own shape and size. It means that theta will be always greater than 90 degree for this case. So it means our angle of contact is giving us information about the shape of the liquid drop whenever we will place it on any of the solid surface. So it means next one, in this condition, the molecules of liquid are attracted strongly to themselves and weakly to those of the solid. So it means if the force of cohesion between the molecules, that is greater than the force of adhesion here. So due to it, a lot of energy is required to create a solid liquid interface, and then liquid does not weight the solid. So it happens in the case of you will see the example of like oily surface, or on a wax, or the mercury on a glass surface. These are all the example of this kind of conditions where these all conditions are satisfying, angle of contact is obtuse angle and that is not weighting the solid surface. So you can now conclude, if angle of contact that will be greater than 90 degree, then that time you cannot you can have this kind of liquid that will not weight the solid surface. Now here after this, the second one, if you will see second case. So second case is what? For the second case it is possible this one if it is greater. So when it will be greater, then it means that our liquid that will not be in equilibrium, because this is the condition to be equilibrium for a liquid drop. But whenever this condition will satisfy, then that time liquid will not be in equilibrium. So if liquid is not in equilibrium, then that time if you will see SLS, that will be less than SLA. Means in this case the force of cohesion between the molecules that will be less than force of adhesion between the molecule of two surfaces, like one of the liquid, one of the solid surface. So that's why the surface tension along the liquid solid surface in this case that is less than liquid air surface, and due to that the angle of contact that is obtained, this is less than 90 degree. Means in this case the angle of contact that is obtained as acute angle. So and also as it is acute angle, then it's if you will put such kind of liquid, then it will make this kind of angle between this one. So it means it starts to weight the solid surface because it will all spread on the solid surface. So force of adhesion in this case that will be greater than force of cohesion. You can understand this whole concept by the concept of angle of contact. So this is, I think, second concept is also clear. Next one, and it means that here all of the conclusion of this whole discussion was the knowledge of angle of contact will determine whether a liquid will spread on the surface of the liquid or it will form droplet on it. Is whether it will attract, it will do interaction with the surface or it will not interact with the surface, that we can understand, and according to that we can have the knowledge of also force of cohesion and force of adhesion. So that's why angle of contact concept is very, you can say, clear, important concept for this kind of shape. Now if you will see on which factor the angle of contact is depending on. So angle of contact depends on, first one, the nature of liquid and solid in contact. So that's I have told you already before. So if the liquid and solid surface that will change, then according to that one obviously angle of contact will change. Next one depends on the medium which exists above the free surface of the liquid. So above the free surface of the liquid, if different types of media is present, then that time also it will have the different angle of contact. Now it is independent of the inclination of solid to the liquid surface. It is not depending on that one, on which angle the solid surface is inclined to the liquid surface. It is fixed for a given pair of solid and liquid and the surrounding media. So these are all the you can say the things that are on which angle of contact is depending or not depending. So this is, I think, clear. Now let's see the next concept, student. Next concept is capillarity, or also we are knowing it by capillary action. So capillary action is what? First, I think some of you have listened this name already. So capillary action or capillarity, we are calling first of all, what is capillarity? Before that one I will define a single thing, that is capillary tube. So capillary tube is what? A tube with a fine and uniform bore throughout its length is known as capillary tube. So it means that a tube you have that's length is very greater and that have fine and uniform bore. So that is known as capillary tube, simple. And if when you will there is one end of the glass capillary tube, suppose, that is open at both ends and that is dipped in a liquid like water which weights the tube. The liquid level in the tube rises to a certain height above the liquid level in the container. So if you have seen this concept already in your daily life, suppose in a beaker you have some of the liquid, like suppose water you have. Now you have taken a capillary tube and you have dipped that capillary tube in this water. So capillary tube that is open at both ends, you have taken that one and you have dipped it. Whenever we will dip it in water, then that time we have seen it experimentally. So the water will start to rise in this capillary tube and it rises up to certain height in this one. So means if you will see the level of water that is up to this one, but it rises up to some height in this one, and this phenomena is now known as the rising of the level of liquid in capillary tube is known as capillary action or capillarity. So I think this is now clear. Also, if you will choose some of the liquid like mercury, low density liquid, then that time the level in the capillary tube that starts to fall there. So this kind, if suppose this is now the mercury, in this case this level in the capillary tube that starts to fall down here, and if it starts to fall down, this kind of meniscus is formed here. Means here you can see from the level to some depth it has fallen. So the rise or fall in the capillary tube whenever it dipped in some of the liquid, that is known as capillary action. So simple, I think this is clear. Now common example of capillarity, if you will see a capillary action, number of examples are here. Like the first example, the fine pores of a blotting paper act like capillary tube, ink rises in them having a paper dry. So here leaving the paper dry. So you have seen that blotting paper, through them we are just seeing there is a lot of fine pores are there, and through that one ink is rising up, and due to the rising up of the ink, the paper leaving the dry there. Second one, a towel soaks water on account of the capillary action. So here as you whenever you are using the towel, then that time it soaks water. So why it is soaking the water? In towels fine pores are given, and through that fine pores whenever it is dipped at the water, then that time water rises due to capillary action, and due to that one it soaks the water from our body. Third one, if you will see the oil that rises in the long narrow space between the thread of the wick because of its fine capillary action. So sometimes you have also seen if oil is skipping somewhere, then that time even some of the other bodies that are affected whenever some of the fine pores are present. And other more examples are like plowing of the field is essential for preserving the moisture of oil. Why? As in soil, number of fine capillary tubes are present. So through that capillary tubes, water, underground waters that are coming up, and due to that one, if that capillary tube will not break, then that all of the water will come at the surface and it will vaporize. So that time dryness property that will, or dryness problem will arise there. So to just prevent the drought from this kind of action, we have to just break the capillary tubes, and that is break by the plowing of the field. So this is our another example of capillary action. Another more examples are water reaches to the different parts of the tree by the capillary action. So these are all examples. Like if you will see, sand is drier than the clay, because in sand the capillary tubes you will see that capillary tubes are not here so fine in comparison to the clay. So as in clay, capillary tubes are very fine, water rises a lot up in comparison to the sand one. Here in this case, if you will see, take suppose different types of capillary tubes that has the bore of this one, you can see it has great larger cross section area than this one. So the fine capillary tube, I am saying, it means that it's the cross sectional area that should be smaller, that is called the fine capillary tube. In this case, if rising of water you will see, so if in this case the water has, suppose that rises up to this height, then in this case it will rise up to only this side. So it means that if fine capillary tubes we will have, then water will rise greater than that of this kind of capillary tubes. So in sand we have the capillary tube that is like this case, and in clay like this. That's why in clay we have seen that sand is drier than the clay. So these are all common examples of capillary actions that we are eating in our daily life. Now after this one, let's see rise of liquid in capillary tube or Ascent formula. So next topic is our Ascent formula. So first we will talk only for the rise. Now when one end of the capillary tube, when we will dip, then that time water will rise. So suppose we have a now capillary tube and we have taken some of the water here. So and on some of the beakers. So suppose this is now our beaker. On this beaker we have taken some of the liquid and a capillary tube we have taken. So this is our capillary tube. Now up to this limit, suppose water has filled in this container. Now it is clear, I think, up to the figure. Now whenever we will just dip this capillary tube in the water, then that time some of the pressure will create. So before, whenever we will just dip it, so that time it will just be like this one. Its shape you will see. This is obtained in this way. So this is just whenever we will dip, but after some time the level of water that will rise up to this limit. So suppose it has risen up to h point and h height here. So we have to find out the value of h in comparison to the known factors. So first let's see now one by one. Suppose this is our point A, that is in the level of this one. So this is point A. This is now point B. This is a point C here. Now another point that you can take or you can take above of this one. So that is suppose C. This is D. This is point E. So these are number of points we have that we have taken on this. Now as you know, according to the pressure law, so hydrostatic pressure that will be same along the same horizontal line. So if along the same horizontal line the hydrostatic pressure is same, then at each point, like the point A, C, E, on each one this will be always same. Also the pressure will be same for C and D because these are at the same point on this central line. Only this A at B and B, at this one the points will be different, but in all these points you can see the pressure will be same. So suppose pressure is here P, again also here pressure is P, here also pressure is P. So up to now this one is I think clear. After this one, whenever the water level rise, then A point will come here, B point will here. Now let me just construct this figure in more clear way now. So this is our liquid or water that we have taken on this. Clear I think. Now first one, as you know, if suppose for example suppose capital R is the radius of the curvature of liquid meniscus. So liquid meniscus is what? Whenever you have seen in any capillary tube the liquid that is making some of the curved here and you can see it is not in capillary tube. You have seen this side of liquid surface, we are liquid film, we are not seeing. We are seeing liquid form in this shape or in this shape. So this is called now the meniscus of liquid. So here I think this is clear. So as this meniscus is curved, then that's why it will have some of the radius. So capital R is the radius of curvature of liquid meniscus. P is atmospheric pressure that is present here, and now S is surface tension of the liquid. So the pressure obviously at point A, that will be P. Now pressure at point B below the liquid meniscus, that will be equal to at B. Pressure will be equal to P minus 2S upon R. So why it will be here in this way? Because of the excess pressure inside the soap bubble. So the excess pressure that will work in upward direction. So that's why here the pressure will be less in comparison to at this point. So the pressure will be less that will be equal to excess pressure present here. So due to excess pressure, its shape, its meniscus is obtained as curved. We have discussed already before, and this will at point B, this value will be P minus 2S by R. This is clear. Now pressure at point C and D, just above and below the plane surface of the liquid vessel, that will be also P. And the point B and D, you can see now B and D, that are in the same horizontal plane. So they both are in the same horizontal plane, then their pressure must be same. But as we can see, their pressure is different at this point B and D, because according to our concept and knowledge, pressure is varying with depth, with height or depth by the factor gauge pressure, that is H rho g. Whenever H is 0, means along the same horizontal line, no pressure will vary, pressure variation should be 0. But here we can see at D point it is equal to atmospheric pressure, but at B point due to liquid excess pressure here in this that the curvature formed due to the this kind of capillary dipping, that is P minus 2S by R here. So as pressure should be same, then it means that this system will try to maintain this pressure, and it is trying to maintain its pressure by at point this one. So to maintain it needs some extra pressure. Means here at point D pressure will be always P, but at point B the pressure should be P to maintain our law, so that it will not violate the law. So to maintain it, the level in the liquid that starts to rise, and it will rise whenever this point E, that is in the same level of this D. Means now this point B, that is becomes E, and now this point you can see that is rising up to this level. So up now you can see at this point E, the pressure becomes P. Means our system is along a same horizontal line, or at all points pressure is now same. In the same capillary tube, the whenever liquid has risen up at this point D and E, pressure is same, and at this point B, pressure is now different. So I think this is clear. So it means that according to our concept, pressure at E, that should be equal to now pressure at D in the equilibrium condition. So let's see now what will be the pressure at first of all E. So pressure at E, this will be pressure at B plus pressure due to depth H. So pressure at B is what? Just now we have calculated P minus 2S by R, and plus the liquid that is applying the pressure due to its depth, that is equal to gauge pressure, and this is equal to H rho g, where rho is what? The density of the liquid. This should be pressure at D. So pressure at E, this is equal to pressure at B. Along the same horizontal line, pressure is same. So now our liquid is in equilibrium condition. This should be equal to P here. So we have to solve this formula only. So if you will solve, P will be cancelled out first, and from here H rho g, this is obtained as 2S upon R, and H can be obtained as 2S upon R rho into C. So this formula we have obtained after the solution now. So this is the Ascent formula that is defining, or that is giving us information up to which height the liquid will rise in the capillary tube. Is the surface tension for the particular liquid is given, and the density of the liquid is given, and meniscus of this capillary tube, means how fine it is given. Then that time the height or up to which the level will rise, that you can calculate easily. One more things here for the calculation of this R. So how can you calculate the radius of curvature of this meniscus? Let's see that one. So for that calculation, suppose this is now your capillary tube, and in this capillary tube, this is the liquid meniscus that you have got here now. So in this liquid meniscus, obviously this will be the along this direction of surface tension along the tangent, and obviously the meniscus, you can see that will have some of the center, and its radius can be found out by this one rule now. So if you have to find out the radius, So this will be now equal to, this is also theta, this is r here. And one more thing, suppose this value of, this is a, this value is smaller. Means if we know what is the distance of this one from the center, then we can use now the geometrical concept here, because this will be r radius of this one liquid meniscus. So it can be obtained as capital R is equal to small r upon cos theta. So here in this formula, if you will write 2s upon small r rho g into now cos theta, this is called the ascent formula. So you can see now ascent formula is depending on a lot of factors, that is what is the dimension of the capillary tube, what is density, surface tension, and what is the angle that is making by it by the surface tension. So students, I think capillary action and the ascent formula, that is clear. So let's end our class here with this discussion. Thank you, student.